Tesuji number 5, featuring a game between Tang Weixin and Yu Zhiyin. So Tang Weixin is playing as black. Last move, he hopped here. Yu Zhiyin is playing as white, and we are at the endgame stage. Next move is if Yu Zhiyin squeeze here, Tang Weixin will protect the corner by connecting here, which will make white's connection here a gote. And if we count the points in the corner, Tang Weixin is going to have 6 points in the corner. However, as I said, Yu Zhiyin is not able to gain this move. Well, what about Yu Zhiyin just takes this move? If Yu Zhiyin takes this move, Tang Weixin follows up by squeezing here. And at this point, we can realize that at the end, Tang Weixin is going to end up having 7 points in the corner. So is it a trade-off right now? So if we want black to have 6 points, then we can't get this move? Or is it, and then if we want this move, then black is going to have 7 points. But Yu Zhiyin's answer for us is, no, I want both. I want everything. And then she throws in on the second line. This is a forcing move. Tang Weixin has to follow up by taking. And now Yu Zhiyin squeeze in here. Tang Weixin looks at the board and he's nodding his head and he's like, wow, that is amazing. That is very, very strong. And then he follows up by connecting his weakness right now. So had Tang Weixin not connected his weakness, what's going to end up happening is Yu Zhiyin's going to Atari from the top, and then Tang Weixin connects, and Yu Zhiyin Ataris, and then descend. And now, as we can all tell, that black is not able to fill in from either direction, and this is game over because black's corner is killed. So at this point, Tang Weixin follows up by fixing the weakness, and Yu Zhiyin Ataris from the top, forcing Tang Weixin to connect. Now, as we can tell, black's corner has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the capture, 6 points. So it was a 6-point corner, and also Yu Zhiyin is able to get this move. And this is all done in Sente, thanks to our beautiful throw-in, or Yu Zhiyin's beautiful throw-in here. So this Tesuji shows us that dragon slaying Tesujis are definitely amazing, but Tesujis that magically grabs 1 point away from your opponent is just as fabulous. Tesuji number 4, featuring a very cool game between 2 amateur players. At this point, it is white to play. If we examine the center, black has many cutting points all over the place, and then it looks like it is very easy for white to exploit these weaknesses and destroy black. But actually, it is not as easy as you think. For example, if white goes ahead and cut, and then cut again, and then extend, black has a Tesuji that is to attach to white stones. This will fix the ladder and also strengthen black's group over here. When white turns, black is going to turn, and now we're not too sure what white is able to accomplish locally. And likely white is not going to accomplish much because both black groups are in safety right now. So, exploiting questionable shapes require reading and Tesujis. In the actual game, the white player played a very nice textbook Tesuji, attaching on the third line. If black connects, white is going to Atari, and Atari again, and then pull the stone out. Now, as we can see, there's a miai going on. On the one hand, white is going to pull the stone back on the second line, killing the 5 stones in the center. On the other hand, white is going to Atari here, and the ladder, the 3 stones in the center. So, for example, if black turns, white is pulling the stone back, and then black is dead in center. On the other hand, if black fixed the weakness on the second line, white is able to ladder the 3 stones. So, Facing this super nice Tesuji, Black had absolutely no tactical choice but to back down. And then he connected. In the center, White is able to pierce through Black's Moyo. So with this Tesuji, White not only is able to pierce through Black's Moyo, but also previously the insecure dragon now becomes very secure because of these beautiful moves. So with this Tesuji, the lesson we learned is that if our opponent's shape looks fishy, there's always something fishy about it, and then it's time for us to think about Tesujis. Tesuji number 3, featuring a game between Zhou Ruiyang and Chen Xiaonan. The last move, Chen Xiaonan as black player decided to cap white 3 stones, and these 3 stones are pretty much dead. Zhou Ruiyang at this point had this stone getting laddered, and then he's also looking at a cutting point here. So he realizes something interesting. If he cuts here, and then he's going to get laddered, and then this stone also get laddered. So there are 2 ladders going on the board. Is there a move that I can play to break both ladders? The answer is yes. So he happily places his stone on the center of the board that solves both ladders. If Black captures one ladder, this ladder is going to work, as we can all see, right? As we can tell, the stone is going to help the ladder, and Black cannot play like this. And then, of course, if Black fixes the cutting point here, White's going to run, and then obviously that ladder works for White. So at this point, Zhou Ruiyang is happy, and then he knows that he's going to get one of the things. One is cut here, one is to run the ladder. However, Chen Xiaonan did not think so, and then he plays an attach right beside the stone. This is a very beautiful game, right? These exchange. And Zhou Ruiyang is stunned, because now he realized something terrible, is that none of the ladders now works because of the attached Tesuji here. For example, if he cuts over here, this is obviously not going to work, as we can all tell. On the other hand, if he tries to run here, that is a little bit harder to read, but very delicately, this is still not going to work for White. So Chen Xiaonan found a move that solves ladders on both directions. So at this point, despite frustration, Zhou Ruiyang had to keep playing. So he decided to Hane here. Chen Xiaonan captures one ladder, and then magically the ladder still does not work on the other side. If Zhou Ruiyang cuts, this is not going to work because of the magically placed stone here by Black. In the actual game, Zhou Ruiyang has to capture the stone in the center, forcing Chen Xiaonan to fix everything here, and then he captures in the center. So at this point, Black was able to use one move to solve both ladder, and then being able to get a lot of thickness over here, as well as fixing the entire corner over here. So at this point, the game is slightly better for Black. We cannot underestimate the flower or the Panuki that White has here, but Black is definitely very satisfied with this outcome. So whenever you want to do a double ladder breaker, you have to watch out for double ladder breaker. Tesuji number 2, featuring a game between Nahum and Shinjin Seo, both from Korea. At first glance, this game is quite peaceful because all of the groups on the board are very safe and settled. However, the black player Nahum, he certainly does not think so. Next move, a 2-3 invasion. And this is definitely stunning Shinjin Seo, because at this point, he is sensing something that's going to happen in the corner with this kind of weird move. So if Shinjin Seo blocks here, Nahum is going to play another Tesuji, that is the Big Knight. When White blocks, Black is going to Kosumi. And then if white actually wants to kill black, this is the only way that he can go ahead and kill black. And then play a 2 times 2, that kind of shape. Black is dead in the corner. However, if black just exploit white's weakness and enclose white inside, this is a losing game for white, because first of all, it takes forever to capture the corner. That is based on the condition that you can actually capture white. I'm not even sure if white's going to win this liberty fight. Even if white wins, there's still a losing game because the squeeze is just too much. So Shinjin Seo cannot play like that. In the actual game, he kicks. Nahyum extends, and then he has to protect the cutting point. Nahyum pushes again, and then blocks here. If white now insists on killing black, there is an Atari and then a squeeze, forcing white to connect, and then there is a beautiful move to connect everything underneath. So obviously Shinjin Seo sees that, and then he prevents that. Nahyum goes ahead and play a very textbook way of a ko alive. Shinjin Seo goes for the ko. When Nahyum connects, Shinjin Seo cuts, takes back, and then because of the fact that white is not completely alive, any ko threats on the outside might be ignored, and then white has to be very careful to not get this dragon kill. So in the actual game, Shinjin Seo decides to give himself more safety for the dragon, and then with this beautiful 2-3 invasion, Nahyum is able to leave a huge corner in Sente and basically making white very miserable. And now his group here has absolutely no problem getting out, and then he is just winning the game from here. As we can all tell, when Nahyum invades your corner with a 2-3 move, you are definitely in trouble. Our top Tesuji for this week features the game between Tong Mengzhen from China and Kim Ji-seuk from Korea. Last move, Kim Ji-seuk honeys here as white, and then we're in a very serious liberty fight between the group over here and then the two groups that white has. For example, if black goes ahead and play out this variation, that is to honey and extend, what's going to happen is white is going to connect, forcing black to connect and then throw in. At this point, the ko is too big, and then there's no ko threat for black. For example, if black goes ahead for some ko threats, at this point I would call the game over, because we all know who is doing better on the board, right? This looks way too beautiful for white. Another possible variation is to not extend, rather to honey. This is a lot better. However, white can just Atari the stone. Now black can go back and start the capture race, and then white is not able to win this liberty fight. However, white can push here, and now as we can tell, even when white takes here, this is a Sente. That means the stone black has on the third line is basically dead because of how thick white is. And also there's a lot of Ajis in the center, so likely black needs to fix to prevent problems over here. So overall, black is only able to capture the corner, and white got way too much compensation on the side, and this is a leading game for white as well. So at this point, this is a very, very difficult game for black, well, until the next move. And this is our top Tesuji for this week. So this just looks good, right? This just looks like a Tesuji, and it is actually a Tesuji. For example, if white blocks, well, that's just the easiest way to lose the game, right? Because at this point, this is I kills no I, so white is basically dead inside. Another possibility is for white to actually jump here. Black is going to pull the stone back. White has to fix the cutting point, and then black can come back and start the capture race. And then at this point, we can all tell that white is going to die. White is losing the liberty fight, and then that's game over. Another possibility is for white to jump on the second line, but this is no use either. So black has another Tesuji that is to attach, forcing white to connect, and then he makes the tiger's mouth. White pushes down, black squeezes the liberty, white makes an eye, and then we shrink the liberty once again. And this is a Seki on the left side, but since all the right side is dead, everything died. And then that's just a huge game over for white as well. So at this point, with this Tesuji, Kim Ji-seuk has nothing. Like, there's nothing that he can do. In the actual game, he had to calm himself down, and then he basically decided to settle down in the corner by playing this tiger's mouth, allowing black to capture everything here, and then he jumps into the 2-3 point, and then this is still a playable game for white because white was able to grab the territory and settle in the corner. But regardless, the beauty of such a Tesuji, wow, it's just insane. I'd love to say something fancy about this Tesuji, but this move leaves me just speechless. And thank you very much for tuning in. This is my official trailer for the Tesuji series, which is exclusive content for only my patrons on my Patreon page. So basically, you can subscribe to my advanced tier only at $11 per month to get weekly Tesuji videos like this. But if you don't want to get the subscription, absolutely no problem. You can keep supporting my channel on YouTube. There's a lot of cool series already. There's the Invader, there's the Tricks. They're constantly going on. The Joseki series is also on. So a lot of great content already on YouTube. If you want extra content, well designed like this, you can obviously go to my Patreon page that I put on the link below the description. But anyway, thank you very much for your support, and I will see you in the next video.